his name dropping the album Friday.
Who?
What's that?
Get the fuck out of here.
It's what's the Hell Have Eyes 3? Yeah.
Oh shit.
For Halloween.
I'm glad you said that. Yo, you're the man. Fucking
Yeah.
Max
Oh,
BB.
we live. Shit, I hit live, but
it's all good. Fuck it. He caught us behind the scenes, but we're gonna go ahead and open up.
go.
Tuning in. All right, this is GMS Virginia coming back at you again. This got the brother that's also a part of GMS Virginia, Abaya. First and foremost, want to give our praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh. We're going to give double honors to Apostle GMS at Rule for our beloved elders that has taught us well. And a peace, blessing, salutation to the hopeful elect and that consists of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, West Indians. Lord's will you be edified through the spirit of Yahweh Shah. And pretty much we're going to touch on the characteristics that the ancient prophets had and something that we must have in these days to come. We understand bad times are coming. Section 8 is about to be cut. Food stamps is about to be cut. Great layoffs is happening. A lot of jobs are being replaced by AI. So, it's certain characteristics that you need to have in these last days, or else, you're going to crash out. You're going to be looking stupid in the face, and whatever gods or whatever things that you're into, there's a lot of people into the hand tellings and the palm readers, whatever, but they're about to be made to look very fucking stupid. The ones that believe in Jesus, the ones that's into Islam, Muslim, you're about to be pretty much made to look very stupid in these days to come.
Sure.
So the brother got 2 Timothy, the 3rd chapter. You got it, Abaya.
Yeah, this is 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1. It says, "This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come."
So that's bad times. You go into 2nd Esdras, the 9th chapter, goes into, the measuring of the times and what's about to be taking place upon this earth. And mainly Babylon the Great. We understand Babylon the Great has been a great, tool for the Lord to pretty much conflict us in the judging Salaki, the coming judgment of Esau, the so-called white man.
Right.
But a lot of going to Revelation 17, a lot of these other nations have fornicated with the system and have incorporated great evils and wickedness. So pretty much everything is is in chaos. So this is why Yahushua is going to have to come back with the multitude of angels to restore order and righteousness. You got it.
Yeah, when you go into that word perilous in the Edamon online, I looked it up. It says spiritually dangerous. So though it's going to be it's going to physically harm people, but it's going to be more dangerous to your spirit, because, during the times that are coming, it all goes into the trying of the faith of the elect. Everything revolves around the Lord and his bride right now. So so any test that's brought on this earth is going to be trying the spirit of these people. That's why the brother got me bringing out these characteristics that it's going to go into, but it's going to reveal that the spirit within these people is just wicked.
Yeah, because everything here in America is psychological and mental. And this is why in these last days, you got to have mental fortitude. Mental fortitude is very important. And one thing for certain, what is it, Ephesians, the 6th chapter? He goes into the spiritual armor, the weaponry, the scriptures, this knowledge. Go into Psalms, the 1st chapter, which, whomever who serves the Lord, Yahweh Shah, shall be like a tree by the water.
Yep.
Given in due season. So right now we're losers, we're dorks, we're morons, we're corny, we're douchebags, we're scumbags. But the Lord's about to show who we really are. So
you look at you got this documentary that just came out on Netflix called The Perfect Neighbor, and really we're already in perilous times, because anytime you could just get shot in broad daylight in a the word community means really it's supposed to be you living amongst your kinsmen, right, of the same nation. But we live in a dark time where, specifically over here in America, where these communities are made up of different nations, different ideologies, different belief systems. some people are racist against another nation, which is normal, but that's bound to cause chaos and death and destruction in perilous times. Your neighbor over here is doing something you don't like. You get in an argument with them, and they just decide to blow your fucking brains out. That's what happened in that documentary.
And you have a stupid police force and system, a judicial system that doesn't help or rectify situations. The only thing they do is respond to great events, meaning crime, something that has took place that resulted from nitpicking or something petty.
Yeah. Even it.
Yep, you got it, brother. You got it.
I was just gonna say real quick to add on what you just said. Even when you look at the ancient Roman Empire, the centurions, they weren't doing anything important for real. They were oppressing the people, making sure, forcing taxes upon the people. So if you, just like in today's time, the policemen, you run a red light, they pull you over. You don't pay the red light, they send you a virtual ticket. All this oppression. They don't do shit but oppress.
That's right.
You call the cops more than 9 times out of 10, the crime has already taken place.
Yep. They don't rectify or fix a situation or try to help the problem. All they do is take paperwork and write shit down, and then they go about their business. And they know what's really going on and what's the problem, but hey, they don't act on it because all in all, their duty is to do what? When there's a severe crime that has been played out, they're for you to take it to the magistrate so it can be processed and you can be charged and go into the justice system, which is all wicked, So basically, all in all, everything that you're seeing is, people are crashing out, people are losing it, and it's going to get worse, day by day. And it's very best believe and best embrace for what's about to happen. You need, Thanksgiving, Santa Claus, because a lot of people's not going to get their turkeys, and a lot of people are not getting presents this year. So you better get some Christmas. You got it, bro.
Come, verse 2. It says, "For men shall be lovers of their own selves."
So that shows you right there. When a man is selfish and greedy, that causes problems, and that's not good for society. Esau pushes pleasure and selfishness and greed, and I looked up on ChatGPT about greed, but and it has a variety of things. It's not good for society. You got it.
Yeah. And one of his main tools he used to further that lovers of themselves is these phones and social media. I was listening to an interview with this rapper Joey Badass, and he was saying how we're like the first age of people on the planet Earth who literally lives with our heads in a device. That's not normal. You can drive throughout any neighborhood in your city and you can see that kids are not outside how they used to be. If they are outside, they're very idle. They don't know what to do. They don't know where to go. They end up getting into some type of trouble, getting kidnapped, whatever. You look at society today, it's very abnormal. People don't even know how to, basic garden skills in their own yards, if they have a yard. We've been reduced to everybody just having their own social construct on a device. My likes, my pictures. What do people think of me? The comments. I'll be on X, and X, people are just post the most outrageous shit just to get likes.
Yeah,
they don't even care if it's factual. They just want to get the likes on the comment.
Yeah, so men humiliate themselves to get likes, and women humiliate themselves to get liked. Because one thing about Esau wants you to be stupid and vanity, like niggas like Drewski, and
oh man,
that's the top. That's what Esau's looking for. Niggas like Drewski and niggas like him, Kai Kanat, and other niggas like that, because they want to push that bullshit. So again, this is all going to go into in these last days how a man of the Lord what characteristics a man of the Lord should have. Because the majority of the characteristics that these people have in America is folly and stupidity and weak, man.
That's right.
You got it.
It says, "For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents.
You see that Drewski? You see niggas no respect for the parents, for the father, for the mother. Everything's out of order. The grandparents, everything's out of order. Why? Because the philosophy that Esau has pushed, all psychological, all mental. The people that 9 times out of 10, when you go outside of your house, the people that you're going to come across, their characteristic is is wicked. It's like the scripture says, a man's gate shows what he is. A lot of people basically showed you. Another thing too is going on. I see a lot of niggas with these cut off t-shirts, man.
Yeah.
And so that's growing, and then they got these little big ass pants. It's like, what the fuck is these? Like, what the fuck is wrong with these niggas, man?
Yeah, covering their shoes and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So the shoes are real big.
Yeah.
So fucking, it's like they're walking on alien shoes, man.
Yeah, Super Mario shoes with big blow up pants.
It's fucking, and then this little cut off t-shirt, man.
Yeah.
Fucking ridiculous, man.
Yep, the NBA young boy rock star want to be YN spirit, but going into the disobedient to parents, Zariella and Zabot was telling me they was at Walmart one day, and the kid was just cussing out his mom like, "Bitch, you ain't gonna do shit. Bitch, you get the fuck on," and and I'm like, "What the fuck?"
J kid, huh?
Jake, you gotta put something like that to death. And I'm gonna be real, man. The type of job I work, I'm out in these neighborhoods. I see these kids when they come off the bus. They don't even go home, put their backpack up if they got a backpack. They get off the bus and start wandering the damn neighborhood. And then sometimes they'll, some of them might say, "What's up?" to me, and I'm like, "Nigga, don't say what's up to me. I'm a fucking to you. I'm 20 years older than you, nigga. Like, you supposed to say yes, sir. Like, I grew up in the country. You know what I'm saying? My grandparents raised me to say yes, sir, yes, ma'am, to those that are older than me, elder people. You got these 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds. They'll look you dead in your face, but hey, what's up? You a grown ass man. This nigga still shitting on himself. Talking, yo, what's up? Simple things like that they lack integrity, morality, no moral principles because the parents aren't raising them.
Nope.
When I see these kids go out the neighborhood, the parents are still at work. When the parents do come home, the parents are so occupied with whatever bullshit they got going on in their life. They're not instilling anything in these kids.
Yeah, the phones are raising them. And TV.
Yep.
Now we all know TV was bad during our times. It's even worse these days. So this is all the what you say, the engine of this system that's gearing these men and these women to just be fucking mentally unstable, psychological damage, trauma, distrust, and matter of fact,
what you need?
No. I was looking through my notes and it's let me see. I came across this again, a new world order checklist. When you go into it, and this is old. Let me see if I can find when I printed this. This shit is mad old. This was years ago. This was probably when I got to when I first came into the truth. That was probably like 14 years ago. But my point of saying this, when you go through the checklist, it has some that's in progress and some that are completed. And when you, from this time now, a lot of things have become completed, man. So these are all, agendas and rules, snares and traps that Esau pretty much put upon a so-called American people to get them to this point that we're reading about.
Yeah.
You got it.
So continuing back in 2 Timothy, the 3rd chapter, it says, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good. Yeah, and despisers of those that are good. You see that on a very, very high level. When you try to instill anything of righteous morality in these people, you tell these people, hey, you shouldn't be trick-or-treating with your kids, because witches and warlocks, that goes against the scriptures. A witch is supposed to be put to death. We doing it for the kids. Don't be you ruining the fun. Now knowing that spirits are tied to these wicked feast days and so-called holidays that you people celebrate, man. You know, I was on the plantation when I was out. I was walking past this chick house and she had a sign up that said Jesus is king, and she had witches set up in her yard for Halloween. And I almost was like, this bitch don't know what the fuck she doing. But then I was like, no, she in the right spirit, because Jesus allows witches and warlocks. Yahweh Shai don't allow that shit. Jesus with the witches and shit, you know. But they despise those that are good. You tell them that this way of life is off, they rebuke you.
Yep, you're in the way. You know, that's why they say they despise those that are good. You know, pretty much the reason why we're the problem on the earth, because we're in the way of them, these people, of their flesh, their lust. Because once it tells you in Galatians, what is it, the 5th chapter, 1921. You know,
I got that on hold. For later. Yeah, but
you got it, bro. If you're done with Second Timothy, the 3rd chapter, you can go to Galatians.
I'll go. I'll just read a little bit more on this. It says, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of the Most High.
There you go.
Yeah,
you can go into Romans, the 1st chapter, roughly the 2 last verses, and tells you that, you know, our people love it so. They love wickedness, love it so.
Yeah.
And why is that? Because our people are mentally unstable, trauma, they're hurt, they're broken. So instead of you know, seeing the problem or correcting it, they can continue it on. And they want to see the next person hurt or broken as well. Misery loves company.
Yep. I got that Galatians chapter 5. And remember it said perilous means spiritual danger. So this is Galatians chapter 5, verse 16. This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary the one to the other. He's about to say something.
Yeah, you got it.
So that ye cannot do the things that ye would. But if ye be led of the spirit, ye are not under the law. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanliness.
And the thing about it, what's happening now, Esau is taking the money power, the willpower, the ability for these people to induct and conduct themselves in all of this wickedness, man.
Yep.
Really, the cry down in America is that people can't do what they did in 1950s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s, and the early 2000s. They can't shake their Laffy Taffy no more. They can't do the Freaknik no more. You know, they can't push the drugs anymore. They can't be the dope boy anymore. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Be freaky no more. They don't have the money to do so. They can't, you know, back in the day, remember, you know, you see niggas with car clubs, dunks, fucking niggas with 30-inch rims, Crown Vics, etc., man. Fast cars, Nash cars, whatever. But the fact that these people are running out of money, they can't do that wickedness anymore. They can't do that bullshit anymore. So what's really going on is people, just like when the COVID came upon America in the world, what was the outcry? Oh man, we just want to go back outside. So we're willing to do what it takes to get the JAB to go back out there. So just imagine for the world to come with the New World Order, the MOTB, the digital ID, people and what's the outcry, the devastation, the atrocities that's about to happen to America. That's all these people are going to go back to: peace and safety. That's what Esau is going to bring you: peace and safety in the form of complete control and not owning that a damn thing.
That's right.
So you got it.
It says adultery, fornication, uncleanliness, lasciviousness, and lasciviousness is it means unbridled lust, uncontrollable lust. Yeah. You can't control. You know, if you see a chick with a fat ass, you immediately gotta run over there and just tackle her by any means necessary.
But not even that. Food stamps. Niggas is mad because they can't get food stamps so they can buy Hot Pockets.
Oh yeah.
Fucking juice pops.
Yeah. Hey, you got bitches, they'll drive through the McDonald's drive-through. It's already fast food, but if they don't get their food
Yeah,
quick as they want it, they jumping through the goddamn drive-through window. Where
yeah,
my goddamn fries at, man? Fucking monsters, man.
yeah. The snippet was Popeye's chicken,
Yeah. The chicken sandwich.
the
You know,
infamous chicken sandwich.
the infamous chicken sandwich, man. Who knows what they was putting in that shit? But verse 20 it says idolatry, witchcraft, hatred. See, there you go, witchcraft. So what the fuck are y'all doing dressing y'all kids up as witches? Right? That has nothing to do with the Lord. But woe to them that call evil good and good evil. It says idolatry, witchcraft, hatred.
And that candy is bullshit.
Yeah.
You here it is late night. Well, it's bad now because I don't even see kids walking the streets anymore. Their parents get them together and they go to like a certain place, an actual place where giving candy to them because a lot of bad things would happen to these kids.
Yep.
It just shows you, if you see this is bad, why keep on allowing it to take place? Why allow it to of it? But these people are idiots. You got it.
It says emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, and seditions go into the divisions that's going to take place. And like we're going to go into in a minute, you're going to need proper characteristics like the prophets of old, our elder forefathers of old, to survive these seditious days, right? Verse 21, it says envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like. So we shouldn't even be marveling at when we seeing, Jake shooting each other down and gunning each other down in broad daylight, fighting over minuscule things. The scriptures told us what's going to happen.
So-called white on white crime.
Yeah.
And even also, Edomites getting mad at Jake because another thing that Jake failed to realize prior to the 1960s, man, you couldn't even be around Edomites, man.
Yeah.
You couldn't be in the neighborhoods.
Yeah.
If you did not, and if you wasn't ordained and known as an entertainer, you didn't come around the Edomites, man, or they'll hang your ass, man.
Yeah.
So the fact that these Jakes now believe that they're entitled, that they better do this and they better do this and do that, you really don't lost your mind, man. Because you really don't know what was going on in the early 1900s, man. Jim Crow era. All these legislation and laws and the Reconstruction era, etc. Redlining, the zoning, etc. Man.
Yeah. Yeah, this word heresies, I got my Bible study Bible with me. It says heresies are permanent, organized divisions or cliques.
Oh man, that goes into Revelation 13. The dragon that spoke with the lamb that spoke with two horns.
Yep. You got the election next week, the midterm elections next week. That's organized divisions.
Yep.
They're playing both sides.
What that's the one in Virginia, right? With old girl. I'm speaking. That's her, right?
Well, you got a whole bunch of people running right now. For both parties, but yeah, that's organized divisions right there. I just heard on the radio they said Kamala said she gonna run again, and Jake told me something. Yeah, we got a fighting chance. That's why you niggas gotta die. Because if it's left to y'all, we'll be in a perpetual circle, just running around like a hamster in the wheel. Just you niggas, you'll cry, "Oh, Trump won, we ain't voting no more." Then as soon as they give you another puppet nigga, you voting again. Like we're not listening to you niggas, man. But continue reading. It says, going to verse 22, and this is touching on the type of fruits of the spirit that we should have, because the Lord said those that are being led in these type of spirits aren't going to inherit the kingdom. Verse 22, it says, but the fruit of the spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. And when you go into that word temperance, it means patience.
Mm-hmm.
Niggas don't have patience, man. I was driving the other day, and the dude, he was so impatient behind me. He literally just, I'm like, dude, and nobody was in the other lane. He could literally just get over and get around me. Dude turns his lights on bright, his headlights bright as hell. He almost rear ends me just to show like, nigga, I'm getting past you, and then speeds off. And then when he speeds off, he slows down. He waits for me to get beside him. I'm like, dude, I'm not finna engage with you, man. I'm not finna engage with you because I already know what type of time you on. But this show, you gotta have temperance, because if you don't, it's either crash out or you know what I'm saying. You're gonna do some foolish shit, because these people, man, they got loose screws, man. They got loose fucking screws. Hey, shalom, brother.
Shalom.
But finishing up in this Galatians chapter 5, it says, "And they that are Hamashiachs have crucified the flesh with the affections and lusts. If we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. Let us not be desirous of vainglory, provoking one another, envying one another."
All right. Go to Sirach, the 44th chapter.
Hey, Lord, come on, you got something playing in the car?
Nah, it's my windshield wipers. Is it making a noise?
That's the echo.
Oh, I think you got an echo. All right.
All right, well, just take me off the main page. I'll just be listening because I'm driving.
All right. I'm gonna just mute you.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah. So this is Sirach chapter 44, going into the point of this lesson, this class here. Sirach chapter 44, verse 1. "Let us now praise famous men and our fathers that begat us."
Hey, because you got to remember,
not our mothers.
We're reading. No, we got to remember. What the scripture says? The Lord is showing us the light, showing us the way, and cleansing us. So what we're doing is, instead of worshiping NBA YoungBoy, these degenerate niggas, scumbags that Esau gave us, false leaders, wicked niggas, and pastors, we're tapping into our old ancient history. Those great men that for years and years and years, they painted and gave you a notion that they were also white men. No, that was us, man. There was colored men, those Hebrew Israelites, which were, they follow Yahweh and Yahushua, and great things came from those men. And those same men, and they tell you, those same men that was during ancient time kept a name. And it was wicked men that we don't even know of or even hear about. Why? Basically, because it's a better thing to serve the Yahweh and Yahushua. You got it?
Right. Yeah, these are the fathers we supposed to uphold. You said NBA YoungBoy. The nigga that he's following is a nigga that's almost 60, Birdman. He got a fucking song with Birdman, and Birdman, the whole song, he ain't even rapping. He just saying, "Fuck these niggas. Fuck these bitches. We'll kill everybody. We'll die around this bitch. We don't give a fuck." Like, he just saying the most murderous death shit on the song. And you look at somebody like Birdman, he at the age where he's supposed to be a grandfather, an elder of the community, but he's worse than the fucking YNs.
Yeah.
So that's why you need the holy men and the elders that have come before you, that have been endowed with the spiritual morality of Yahweh Shah to lead you, man.
It's sad. It's sad. You just had that verses, and I didn't watch it. No Limit to Cash Money, and you actually had like old bitches and niggas that gathered just to see that bullshit. Oh, we for Cash Money. Won't you wobble? No, that's no. Won't you wobble? Won't you shake it? And won't you drive it? Ooh, break it. Oh, Cash Money. Yo, too good when you back there. That G code, all that
niggas, just old niggas, man.
Yo, y'all niggas is still enchanted by this. All y'all niggas in y'all 50s and 40s, and all them niggas is in their 50s, man, damn near 60s, man. And this is what you're idolizing. You niggas is getting together to watch a verses of some old niggas. But see Jake they want that feel good again, because they know this right now. Jake catching it. Jake is losing. Jake's are dweebs. They're corny.
Yeah.
So they tap into that ancient 1999 to the 2000 spirit. I'm like, come on. That's what Jake want. But again, as men, the spiritual men, we're tapping into who? The ancient men that follow Yahweh Shem Shah. You got it.
Yeah, Jake, you niggas just gotta be destroyed, man. Like, I was watching something earlier. These FBA niggas, they getting on the tribes, man. Like y'all niggas ain't got time to be fighting with Benjamin and fucking Issachar, man. Y'all ain't getting no damn reparations, man. You know, but the Jake just so far focused on the wrong shit that they don't even see what's in front of them, which is the truth. Because the prophet's been out here, you know. But I'm gonna continue reading.
Yeah, the fact that you still arguing over reparation that should have been given to you back in what, the 1800s?
Yeah.
You just sound stupid.
Yeah. Hey, what did we just watch? The 40 Acres movie?
Come on.
Now, that's based around Jake having some land after the destruction happens, but guess what? Their land was still able to be invaded because they're not sovereign.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a kingdom. They don't have no power. They was just a family trying to survive and work the land and couldn't even really protect the land how it should have without their family getting harmed. That's not what the kingdom is about. The kingdom is about peace, safety, protection, not having to worry about enemies coming to invade your land. You got it, corrupt.
No, I was just going to say, and when you read Deuteronomy 28, 1-15, it tells you in one of those passages, I think the 14 or 13 verse, it tells you if an enemy come in and tries to harm you, invade you, they shall leave running in many directions, and they should be scared of you.
Facts.
So that's going to what you're saying. We wasn't sovereign.
Yep.
We haven't been sovereign since King Solomon.
Well, yeah, that's facts. That's facts. And that was a very short time. What was it, 40 years?
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, Jake really, and that's for you heathens out there that want to take our inheritance. Yes, y'all have, every nation on the earth has blessings, but only one nation has the inheritance as the sons of God.
That's right.
You want to take our inheritance, and we haven't even lived in our inheritance yet. We've only had sovereignty for 40 years under King Solomon. The Lord speaks about an everlasting kingdom in our inheritance.
Remember, King David fought for peace for King Solomon, and after King Solomon, the kingdom was split. After Rehoboam and Jeroboam.
Yeah.
And completely chaos afterwards, man.
Complete chaos. Chaos before it.
Yeah.
You had David versus Saul. David had so much blood on his hand fighting the Canaanites and warring that the Lord told him he couldn't build the temple. Then after Solomon, like you said, you get Jeroboam and Rehoboam and the dispersion of Northern Kingdom and just so much scattering of the not just Northern Kingdom, but even Southern Kingdom. We haven't been sovereign in centuries, man.
Yeah, what a time when the Persians and the Medes, we was allowed to rebuild our kingdom, and they wanted to attack us then. And then when it came to the Greek Empire, they wanted to they basically made laws that we had to serve.
Yeah, they said fuck all that. They said fuck all that building your own shit. The Greeks, you Edomites, they said fuck that shit. You know, you had the Hasmonean, which people try to say, oh, the Hasmoneans, they had their own king. No, they didn't. What that was a select group of men that uphold the Levitical priesthood law. They joined together and they went into the woods and drew a line in the sand, basically, and said, if you cross this territory, we're gonna fight you. They couldn't fight with the Greco-Romans. They was just trying to uphold their little territory that they had for themselves. But that wasn't no sovereign kingdom. That's why the Hasmonean dynasty didn't last. Because the Romans came in as their iron. They came in as their iron and took their ass out of here, man.
Yep. And then eventually our temple, Jerusalem, got sacked in 70 AD.
Yeah. More chaos.
Yeah. And we haven't seen it ever since. So you continue on.
Yeah. It says, verse 2, the Lord have wrought great glory by them through his great power from the beginning. Speaking of those fathers. Verse 3, such as did bear rule in their kingdoms, men renowned for their power, giving counsel by their understanding, and declaring prophecies. It says, leaders of the people.
Hold on, real quick. You got it. You read it in the KJV. I got it in the GNT. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Let me switch it to KJV. Because I'm following along. Hold on.
You want me to start back up to the verse 2?
No.
Okay.
Hold on. Is there any way you can get it in the GNT or no? Using your phone,
yeah.
It's all good. You got it.
Yeah, verse 4 says, leaders of the people by their counsels and by their knowledge of learning meet for the people, wise and eloquent in their instructions. That's key. Wise and eloquent in their instructions, not Birdman telling you, yeah, we're going to die about our shit. We're going to ride about our shit. We're going to kill these niggas. We're going to kill these bitches. Fuck everybody. Niggas 60 years old still talking that bullshit, man. That's not no men you want to follow after, man. It says wise and eloquent men that will lead you to instructions. That's why we give double honor to our elder apostles. You're right. The men that have come before us, that labor before us, because we've entered into their righteous labors. We're all building on one accord, right? The spiritual temple, right? But you got to have these characteristics to be able to lead. You got to be able to follow before you're able to lead. And who do you follow before you're able to lead? The men that came before you, that follow the men that came before them on that same right path. I'll keep reading, bro.
You got it.
Verse 5. It says, such as found out.
Go when, let me know. Let me know when you get to verse 16.
Okay. Verse 5, such as found out musical tunes and recited verses in writing. That's going into David. It says, rich men furnished with ability, living peacefully in their habitations. That's Solomon. Verse 7, all these were honored in their generations and were the glory of their times. There be of them that have left a name behind them, that their praise might be reported. It's nothing more beautiful than leaving a name.
Yep.
But
Scripture says a good name is better than riches and what is it? Riches and rubies.
There you go.
Proverbs 22:1.
There you go. Say what you want. This is a carnal example. Say what you want about Michael Jackson, but the nigga left, and they still compare everybody that fucking danced to this nigga, sang and danced to this nigga. Mm-hmm. He left a name in his art. How much more the prophets and the servants of the Lord? They have done great works that have people still can't even grasp some of the things that these great men, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Noah. They still can't grasp how he built that big of an ark.
Yeah, it says it.
Yeah. Well, let me.
No, you got it.
It says, verse 8. It says, there be of them that have left a name behind them, that their praises might be reported. And some there be which have no memorial, who are perished, as though they had never been, and are become as though they had never been born, and their children after them. But these there you go.
A lot of these niggas. It's like when we get in the kingdom, the acts of Diddy, Jay-Z, all these little top wicked niggas that in this society, they're gonna be ashamed.
Yeah.
But what we have done, we still, and it tells you in Chat GPT, man. That's why it's beautiful. And it tells you, for us, doing what we're doing, making that sacrifice. And Lord's will we be found having favor towards Yahweh Shem Rashah. The works that we're doing right now is going to carry on. It's going to live forever.
Yeah.
The shit that Diddy is doing and all the other wicked niggas in the society, that's going to fade away, man. Because it amounted to nothing. Amounted to nothing. Here it is. Him and Cassie had the what is it? I guess what America love affair would ever have. Bitch, she was a whore. She was allowed other men, and he was allowed other men and drugs and all of that. And now they're Jeff.
Exactly.
Jeff, exactly. Here, I'm just saying in general. Everybody that's high in this society, their works is not going to matter.
That's right. Yeah, I got a precept because you talked about being remembered. This is Malachi 3:16. Then they that feared the Lord spoke often one to another, and the Lord hearkened and heard it, and a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared the Lord and thought upon his name.
Ooh. You got it.
Like you said, it's gonna follow. Our works are gonna follow. Lord willing, we these high level men, the 144. What you gotta understand is the 144 are the elite of the elite. That's like when the NBA take everybody in the NBA are elite, but when it's time for the Olympics, they take the elite of the elite to play in the Olympics. The 144 are the elite sons of the Most High, right? You have the first fruit, which is Yahweh Shai, first spirit created. And you have the rest of the first fruits, which is the 144, which were the first spirits created. So those are the elite of the elite. So you want to be a part of that number, because in the kingdom, it's going to be a book you're going to be taught about in the kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Your works of your past life. We just read it, a book of remembrance. You know how you read about George Washington double ass and Thomas Jefferson and the nigga that flew a kite and say he created electricity, all this bullshit. We gonna be read about in the kingdom. You know?
That's right.
But I'll keep reading, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It says verse 10, but these were merciful men whose righteousness have not been forgotten. With their seed shall continually remain a good inheritance, and their children are within the covenant. And that word inheritance is so vital. Inheritance is so vital because a father does not give the son's inheritance to the neighbor's kid of a strange nation or somebody else. If you have a son and you leave an inheritance for him, that is his inheritance. You may put a time limit on when he can get it, or you may say right now you can't touch it because you did this. You might punish him and make him wait a long time to get his inheritance. But you don't say it's no longer yours. I'm gonna give it to the Chinese kid over there in China. Nigga, it's that don't make no fucking sense. The father's inheritance goes to his sons. Yasha'Allah, the princes of the power, the Israelites, right? So continue reading. It says, verse 12, their seed standeth fast, and their children for their sakes. So you got to understand what these works that we're doing right now is not just for us. It's for our children's sakes in the kingdom. Your sons are going to be able to boast about this and be proud of what you stood for in your weak stature, in your lower state. Your son is going to be able to, your sons, your grandsons are going to be able to boast about your labors. Like, I come from the lineage of a great man. That's what it's speaking about. Verse 13, it says, their seed shall remain forever, and their glory shall never be blotted out. Right?
It's like we read about Moses, Noah,
Yep.
the prophets, the apostles.
Yep.
Hey, same thing was going to happen in the kingdom.
Yep.
You got it?
It says, their bodies are buried in peace, but their name liveth forevermore. And none of those men's graves have been defiled. Not like this wicked shit you see in America when they slide on their ops and they go piss on their graves. Now that shit don't happen to the elect, man. The Lord just said it. So Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, David, Solomon, all our forefathers, their graves are in peace. And none of y'all have been able to go over and touch them. Just like the Ark of the Covenant. That's chilling in peace.
Yep.
Jeremiah hid it in a cave, nigga. It ain't none of the Roman, for you niggas, it's the Roman Catholic Church got it. The scriptures say Jeremiah hid it, and only the Lord know which cave it's in, nigga. You can't touch it, right? Verse 15, it says, the people will tell of their wisdom, and the congregation will show forth their praise. Here's the verse you said, verse 16, you told me to tell you when I get there.
It's Enoch, right?
Yeah, Enoch.
Yeah, read about Enoch, and then I'll go into the ChatGPT.
Come. Verse 16, it says, Enoch pleased the Lord and was translated being an example of repentance to all generations. And if I could say something real quick before you get that TTP, then I can't even say the nigga. But this is how you know all of us have filthy rags, and we got to work on ourselves. Because if we were perfect, we would have been translated like Enoch. The
Yep.
Lord doesn't allow perfection to stay on this filthy world. So we all need to be examining ourselves and working on our impurities daily. But you got it, brother.
All right. This is ChatGPT, and it says, I put in what characteristics would Enoch if he was here today. I kind of butchered it, but it goes into let me see. Get to the point. So imagining Enoch living in today's world, his characteristics might translate like this: spiritual or moral traits, deeply spiritual, likely seen as someone with a profound connection to the divine or to a higher consciousness. Righteous and incorruptible, unwavering integrity in a world full of moral compromise. And we understand the world we live in, nobody gives a damn about integrity. Humble yet confident, aware of divine truth but not boastful about it. And you can tap in whenever you want.
Cool.
Intellectual and social traits. Let me see. Let me see.
And really you can and it's crazy because that sounds very similar to the traits that Daniel had. Daniel was very young as mostly all the prophets, but the scriptures tell you Daniel was of nobility, so he was like a what you would say a well-off kid, but he was very renowned for his wisdom and his intellect. He was the best of the best. That's why the king, when he said, "Give me the best sons of Israel. Give me the top of the top." And Daniel was amongst them. And he was known for his immense wisdom. That's why he was able to help Nebuchadnezzar, break down his dream,
Continuing on, philosophical and contemplative, drawn to questions of morality, purpose, and the unseen dimensions of reality. Because people, one thing about us, we question, we always yondered and wondered what the hell is the meaning of life. But through Yahweh Shah, he showed us what's the real meaning of, and the understanding and what's really going on in this society. Instead of, these people, and like the scripture says in Romans, going back to Romans, the first chapter, since you don't serve the Heavenly Father and serve the creature and serve men, well, he's going to leave you to your vile affections.
That's right.
People take pretty much what they see in face value. Oh, Jesus is white, God is white, America has power, so be it. Oh, the land of milk and honey, golden streets, paves, land of opportunity, liberalism, so be it, So it's a teacher over a former, likely to use his insights to challenge injustice and inspire others toward goodness. So you got it, bro.
Yeah, it says inspire others. So you're not doing this just for yourself. That's why I made the point at camp one day, and I was like, it's very easy for you to, for bros that's been in this truth for over a decade or whatever, and you'll find yourself just going through the motions. That's why in Revelation it says, remember thy first love and return to thy first works, or else I will put your candle out. And when you see new bros come up and you see that spark within new bros that are just now learning, you realize, oh, this is what I'm doing it for. It ain't just for me. You may say, oh, I want the Lord to come back today and deliver. Well, what about the rest of the bros that ain't came in yet? They see us and they eyes light up like how our eyes lit up when we first seen this thing. And it's beautiful to see. It's like, damn, we in 2025, but you still got young bros coming in. They like, yo, this is crazy. Yo, this is wow. And when you see stuff like that, you know that you need to be here as a good example for those that are yet to come into this, this calling. Remember now, it's a great multitude that's about to come in. The scriptures speak about that in Revelation. However the Lord wants to do it, we know miracles are going to happen and something major is going to happen to where people are going to run to the Israelites. But regardless, you have to learn to follow before you can lead, because every brother in his own right is going to be a leader of a group of people. All right. You don't know who the Lord may have you encounter, in these times to come. Jacob's trouble, you don't know, but you have to be able to follow the men that are set above you so that you can lead properly. Because if you don't, the scriptures say what? The blind shall lead the blind. They both shall fall into a ditch,
You got it.
Oh, that was basically it. We already at the 50-minute mark. Unless you got more you want to go
No,
into.
now we can still go on. Go on to what is it? Next one is Noah.
Okay, but let me the brother Matthew put a comment on the board. Let me read
All
this
right.
real quick. He says, Matthew chapter 24 verse 35. It says, "Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away." That's right.
Whew.
That's right. That's right. And when you go into that, the earth passing away, we know that the earth abideth forever, but the current state of the earth can pass away. The current rulership of heaven can pass away. All right. The way that you see the earth today, this age, this eon can pass away. But the
Yep.
word of the Lord abideth forever. You look at all the generations and all the ages, their time has passed away, but what has remained constant? The word of the Lord. It's been translated, it's been transcribed, it's been written down on different type of material, it's been made into different kind of books, different versions in every age. You can go back to every civilization, the word of the Lord was translated in their languages for them to understand. So
Yep.
so this is true. But I'm gonna go back to the book of Sirach, and now we're going to Noah, verse 17. It says, Noah was found perfect and righteous in the time of wrath. He was taken in exchange for the world. Therefore was he left as a remnant unto the earth when the flood came. Like I was saying earlier, to this day, you got men marveling at what Noah did. You know, that big ass ark, they found those huge ass anchors that was near the ark on Mount Ararat. And they're like, how the fuck did he do this? Well, the scriptures tell you these are great men endowed by the Spirit of the Lord to glorify his name. The Lord can make a man do anything to glorify him. You look at Esau. The Lord raised up this hairy ass caveman that speaks this bastard tongue and gave him Gillette shaving cream, gave him suits, gave him all this shit, skyscrapers, Bugattis, Lamborghinis, Teslas. You would think Esau is a king, right? The scriptures don't call him no king. The scriptures call him dukes. You have the dukes of Edom. Look at these dukes. You would think, oh, these are real royalty. No, that the Lord lifted them up for you to see his power of what he can do to man.
Yep.
Verse 18. And matter of fact, it says that in Daniel. He put up down one. I think it's Daniel the 7th chapter. He put up down one and lifted up another. You know, promotion cometh neither from the east nor the west, but promotion is from the Lord, man. But continuing in Sirach, the 44th chapter, verse 18, it says, an everlasting covenant was made with him, that all flesh should perish no more by the flood. And there's proof in that also, because there's been some major catastrophes by water. You got Hurricane Katrina. You had many hurricanes after Hurricane Katrina. You got tsunamis that happen in these islands, but the earth never floods no more. The earth is never destroyed by floods anymore. Why is that? Well, that's the promise of the Lord, man. Right? This is the remembrance that we're going into. Verse 19. It says, Abraham was a great father of many people. In glory was there none like unto him. Right? That's why Ishmael boasts in Abraham. Oh, Abraham, my father. He is a father of many people, but like Edris tells us, we all, though we all come from Adam, Abraham has blessed many nations. There's one chosen, right?
Hey, Salaki, Salaki, let me go into Noah.
Come on.
It says in ChatGPT, what righteous characters will Noah have today? It says, a righteous man blaming among the people of his time, and he walked in faithfully with Yahweh. Here's how those traits might look if Noah lived today. 1, moral integrity in a corrupt world. Then Noah stood apart from a violent corruption generation during those times. Today, he likely be someone who refuses to compromise his ethics, honest in business, transparent in leadership, and unwilling to go along with injustice, even when it's popular or profitable. Man.
So you couldn't buy Noah.
Yeah, you got it.
He ain't selling out to Diddy. He ain't selling out to these Amalekite, record business owners. Noah had integrity, man. A lot of you niggas say you got integrity, but I was watching the Mafia. I'm watching this Mafia documentary on Netflix, and one of the detectives that brought them down said, all of these guys, you know what they have in common? They're all rats. The top mob bosses, they're all rats. He said they speak about integrity. Yeah, he said they speak about integrity, they speak about code and honor, and as soon as you get them in that room, they all break their code. That's
Really funny.
Yeah, the only people you could trust are the elect.
Yep.
You couldn't even. Judas was amongst the elite 12. Broke bread with he was amongst the elite of the elite, and you couldn't trust that nigga. Why? Because he wasn't the elect. So you can only trust the elect, man. And that's why Yahweh Shah says what? Credit no man, but prove a man before you call him a friend. And that's what Yahweh Shah is doing to us. He's proven us before he calls us his friends, man.
Oh yeah, what it says in Ecclesiastes, what is it? I think the 3rd chapter. Marvel not when you see the oppression.
Yeah.
Hey, look at the American people. They don't care. They don't give a damn what Esau's doing, rape, robbing, and murder, and pillaging the whole world. And as long as they get their goodies, as long as they get their gifts, as long as they get the, their money, or going back to their lustful endeavors, these people in America, they don't give a damn about anything. They're greedy. They're selfish. They're selfish. So it says faithfulness and obedience to Yahweh. Then he trusted and obeyed Yahweh's command to build the ark, even when it seemed irrational. Today, he'd be someone whose decisions are grounded in deep faith and prayer, willing to act on conviction even when it's countercultural. Because one thing for certain, being a Hebrew Israelite is counterculture. Our culture is nigga shit. So it's like Drewski. He tried to make it look like we're funny and some jokes, but hey, nigga, this is who we really are. See, that's not something we were taught. It's not fashion. But the thing about it, like Noah, I'm gonna continue on. Perhaps taking on causes that seem impossible or unpopular because he believes they're right. So I think again, this is not something that you got. Oh, this is a fad. This is hot. This is I'm on that. Nah. This is not a fad. Nah, this is countercultural because Esau wants us to be niggas, so he can just. The fugitive wants us to be the fugitive.
That's right.
Short and sweet. 3, perseverance and patience. Then building the ark took decades of ridicule and hard labor. Today, he'd be someone who endures criticism or online backlash.
Wow.
For doing what he believes is right. A moral person who keeps working toward long-term goals like environmental stewardship, social justice, or moral reform, despite slow progress. And remember, bros, it seems like it's been forever. But you got to remember, even Elder Tahar went down. They've been laboring for 40 plus years.
Yeah.
So, we can't be self-centered or how you say, greedy. We all want the kingdom, but hey, it's a slow progress. 4.
And times are getting worse.
Yeah.
But that's the counting of the cost. So if you come in at the last end and you like, well, damn, I came in when it's all hell out of this bitch. The prices of everything is jacked up. Jobs, the job economy. It ain't like the 90s where you can go to college and actually get a degree and get a good job. It ain't like that no more. So yeah, times has gotten worse. But nigga, that's counting the cost. That's your lot. It don't matter when you come in. You can't. Like the brother just brought up, our elders have been in 4 decades, man. At the end of the day, no matter what time you came in, you got to endure your placement because that's where the Lord seems fit to put you at, man. Are you saying that the Lord is wrong where he placed you at? But you got it, bro.
So jump and skip 5. Leadership rooted in responsibility. He led his family through crisis and renewal. Today he'd be steady, family-centered leader, guiding others with humility and purpose rather than ego. His influence will come from character, not charisma. 6, hope and renewal. Then, after the flood, became the ancestor of a renewed world. Today, he'd be someone who believes in restoration, helping build communities after disaster, promoting reconciliation, or pioneering a system that restore broken relationships or ecosystems. And that's ultimately the elect, you know, because hey, Revelation, the 21st chapter. We're yearning for a new righteous system. We're yearning for Yahweh Shah to come back because we understand Esau is against every damn thing. He's against everything that's righteous, man.
That's right.
So we're the real peacemakers.
That's right.
You can go back into Sirach 44. No, matter of fact, you was in Abraham, right? I'm gonna actually just go into it. Abraham.
Yeah. Yeah, I read on
If Abraham,
Abraham already.
if Abraham lived today, many of his core characteristics from Scripture, especially from Genesis 12 to 25, will likely show up in ways that fit our modern world. Here's how that might look. Let me see. Deep faith, spiritual conviction. Then Abraham trusted Yahweh enough to leave his homeland for an unknown destination, and even to offer up his own son Isaac. Remember, we grew up in wherever we were born, wherever we were born, and remember, we put down that nigga shit. If you were in New York, if you were born in New York, you put away that New York nigga shit. If you're born in Atlanta, you put away that Atlanta shit. If you're from Jamaica, etc., you get what I'm saying. You throwing that aside because we all know the cultural ways that we been groomed to be is not going to amount to us anything. So it said today can likely be someone with unshakable faith, maybe a spiritual leader, humanitarian, or someone who inspires offers through radical trust in Yahweh, even when the world doubts him.
Yeah, you got to think he left his homeland and traveled to a place. That's why Jake can be known as a foreigner. All right, the Hebrew word gar, stranger. You could be known as a stranger amongst Israelites, because if you go to Haiti, all you know is America, inner city America, as a Judite, and you go amongst Benjamin or Levi, their country, or you go to Northern Kingdom, Southern Kingdom, wherever, they're gonna speak a different language. They're gonna have different customs. They're gonna have different beliefs, and you're gonna feel like a stranger. You're gonna feel like a foreigner. That's why we have laws on not oppressing our brothers that are strangers or foreigners when they come into our land, right? But you got to think about the amount of faith it would take Abraham to go to a land where, he don't know what's there. He don't know the type of people there. He don't know the type of the territory. He don't know nothing about the land. He just left everything he ever known. And this is before you got planes and fucking cell phones and GPS, and you can order food off DoorDash and order what you need off delivery, and research the area. You can go on Google and research if this area is safe. Is this a tourist area? Well, I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna stay at this hotel. No, nigga. This is a time when you on feet in the desert. You seeing animals at night. You gotta find a place to sleep. You gotta find food to eat. This was a that's another one of the main characteristics about our forefathers. They were men, manly men. The scriptures say, "Consider you how you are less stature than the men before you." Their testosterone was on a whole different. We don't even know what testosterone is. We ain't never felt testosterone. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. The type of testosterone that the fathers of ancient had is on a whole different level. You talking about young David being able to wrestle with lions and bears, man. You talking about Jacob being able to sleep on a rock. He used a rock as a pillow. Wrestle with angels. We talking about men with a mental fortitude that we can't even perceive in our day and time because we've been brought to such a lower state. So these are men to marvel at and want to learn from. The type of faith and courage and manliness that they had, to where they didn't succumb to the flesh. They didn't let the flesh rule over them. They ruled over their environment. They made their environment, their space, their domain. They didn't allow their domain, their environment to rule over them. They ruled over the environment. That's what men are supposed to do. They're supposed to rule over their domain. And your main domain is your body. That's what you have to rule over first before anything, which encapsulates your mind, your spirit. You rule that, you have a good start. The scriptures say if a man cannot rule his own household, how can he rule the house of the Most High? But you got it, corrupt.
All right. That was it on Abraham. You can go to Sirach 45 about Moses.
All right, verse 1. Sirach
You don't
chapter
got
45.
you don't have to read the whole thing. Just get a snippet of it, and then I'll go into it.
Come. Sirach chapter 45, verse 1. And he brought out of him a merciful man, which found favor in the sight of all flesh, even Moses, beloved of Yahweh and men, whose memorial is blessed. Yeah, they still make movies about Mashah to this day. It says he made him like unto the glorious saints and magnified him so that his enemies stood in fear of him. All right, we know that's facts. The Canaanites, them Hamites, they were scared of Moses.
Mhm.
Verse 3, it says, by his words he caused the wonders to cease, and he made him glorious in the sight of kings. And he gave a commandment for his people and showed him part of his glory. That goes into Mount Sinai. Mashah was up there. I think it was 40 days with Abba Yahweh, the Most High Yahweh. The Lord showed Moses things that's not spoken of in the scriptures, man. But one of the things he did show Mashah was the tabernacle. Because you got to remember, the tabernacle that was built with the east gate, the west gate, the south gate, the north gate, all the three tribes at each entrance. That was a vision from on high. He got a vision of what was in the third heaven with the Most High. And he brought the tabernacle down on the earth, man. Right? That's some of the glorious things the Most High showed him. Verse 4, and you can let me know when to stop off. It says,
you can start right there.
okay.
So it's characteristic of Moses if he had lived today. It says one visionary leader then led the Israelites out of Egypt toward the promised land. Now he might be a social or political leader driving major humanitarian change, perhaps advocating for freedom, justice, or reform against systemic oppression. And something that we do today.
Yeah.
It says I'm gonna just go through. So it says let me see. 3, reluctant but powerful communicator, then famously hesitant about his speech, slow of tongue, yet ultimately persuasive and inspiring. Now he might struggle with public speaking or self-doubt, but use digital platforms, storytelling, or media to move people toward a cause. Rough, aka, the internet. So same thing we do. All of us don't have the most eloquent speak, etc., but we do what we have to do.
Yeah, it's not about who speaks eloquent or who speak. The Lord don't give a damn about that. The Lord told Moses, when you read the actual account, he said, "Who made man's mouth to speak?" He gonna put the words in your mouth. It's just like right now, you got niggas that think, "Oh, I'm all that because I can speak English," or you got Northern Kingdom that think, "Oh, I'm all that because I can speak Spanish." Well, for one, not only are these bastard languages that we speak, these are not even the proper way that they supposed to be speaking. The Edomites that came over here with this English shit, this was a poor man's English. You have the king's English and the poor man's English. So you shouldn't even be boasting in your oppressor's language anyways. And getting on Jake that had trouble reading. We went through these school systems and they would joke on Jake, or he can't read. It's hard for him to pronounce some word. Who gives a fuck? This ain't his language, no fucking way. So the Lord, you got bros that's coming into this truth that may have those insecurities that I can't speak well, or I'm nervous, or I wasn't good at presentations growing up as a kid. Who gives a fuck? The Lord is in control of all of this. We ain't in control of this. This is the Lord's program. You just come and come into your lot. The Lord will do the rest. Don't marvel at no guy that's a great speaker, because that's a man at the end of the day. You don't give the glory of the Lord to a man. You can give honor to a man, but don't give the glory of the Lord to a man. You got many guys that can come into this truth and regurgitate precepts and look like the best speaker in the world, and they some of the most wicked niggas on the planet Earth. It's not about who looks like the nice guy, the top guy, the LeBron James of the Israelites. That ain't what this is about, man. We read earlier the traits that you're supposed to have: the meekness, the humility, the temperance, the long suffering, the kindness the type of man you're supposed to be. So the Lord is working on those that have sincere hearts, and He'll take care of the rest. You got to remember, the scriptures speak about us being brought before. You know, you may be brought to some of the sheriffs in your town. You may be brought to a governor, but you may be nervous. That's normal. But guess what? The Lord is going to take care of that, man. It's just like the first time you stepped out on the highways and byways to teach this truth. The Lord put the Spirit on you to open your mouth. When I first stepped out on the highways and byways, I was nervous as hell. But the Lord will guide you through all that, man. So it's no excuse for you, Jake, because Jake will use that. Oh man, I'm scared. I'm scared. Well, look, you ain't fit for this, damn man. Because he told Jeremiah, I don't care that you a young man. Go out there and teach my word. That's how the Lord acts, man. That's how the Lord conducts his business. But you got it, brother.
Yeah, I'm not going to read everything. I'm probably going to get maybe two more. I'm going to get Joshua and Apostle Paul, and I'm going to wrap it up because there's so many.
Yeah, man. We can go through Methuselah. We can go through.
Yeah. This goes right into what you were saying. 6, transformative, not comfortable with power. So then, Moses turned down personal glory to serve a higher mission. Now he likely reject political opportunism and corporate greed, more of a reformer than a ruler, motivated by service, not status. So it says 7, a bridge between.
Hey, that's the key point, brother. Motivated by service, not status. Is the servant greater than his master? No. Yahweh Shah washed the disciples' feet. Every man's feet that he washed was of lower status than him. So he wasn't you're not supposed to be motivated. Oh, let me try to be the top guy in Israel. You see all these guys with these different all these ABCD Israelite camps that's popping up now, trying to be the top guy. They just came in, they already elders, 5 years in the truth, they elders. They in it for status. They not in this to serve. You supposed to be in this to serve your people, man. And most importantly, serve Yahweh Shah. You got it, brother.
So it says 7, a bridge between cultures. Then raised in Pharaoh's court, but identified with the Hebrews. Now a multicultural figure, someone who understands privilege but uses it to empower marginalized communities. And we understand, we come from America, but again, we don't use that American. Like Apostle Paul, he was from Roman citizen, but we don't take that or use that as an advantage to try to get over.
Yeah.
Pretty much, instead of us, we can sell out. We can sell out, be the next, whatever, so to speak. But ultimately, we understand we're for the elect, and we don't forget that mission.
Yeah, we can sell out. Look at all the ugly niggas that he saw and gave glory to, man. He don't care if you fat, got a lazy eye. As long as you're willing to do what he wants you to do, he'll put you on the big screen. So, and a lot of brothers have talents within the body, So we're not in this for that. We serve a greater power.
So let me see. Matter of fact, I take that back. I'm just going to Apostle Paul. See some characteristics. So what I put in, what characteristics will Apostle Paul have if he lived today? Let me see. It said, driven and purposeful, Paul was relentless in his mission, traveling, writing, and debating nonstop. Today, he likely be tireless advocate for his beliefs, constantly on the move, managing multiple projects or ministries, highly educated and articulate, trained under Gamaliel, a top Jew scholar. Paul was both intellectual and persuasive. And one thing for certain, these are characteristics because the scripture talks about, you study to show thyself approved. You got to know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because in today's world, he'd probably be in advanced degrees in, it said, theology, philosophy, or law, and be a prolific writer and speaker. So it says, let me see. Cross-cultural communicator, Paul navigated between Jewish and Greco-Roman worlds. Now he thrives in multicultural environments, perhaps speaking several languages, and that's why eventually Apostle Paul had such a great ministry, because he spoke different languages. He could speak to the outcasts, which were Israelites.
Yep.
So he's using social media, just like today. You have brothers that are good with Spanish, patois, Portuguese, whatever those UK languages, etc. So it's
Yeah.
like social media to reach global audiences and contextualizing faith for different cultures. So, meaning ultimately, we understand how people are indulged in different cultures, because all Israelites is not looking like the same people.
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of outcasts of Israelites that's outside of America, they tune in and they tune into these lessons and videos, man. Why? Because they're the dispersed Israelites. So let me see.
And that's where the spirit of discernment comes in too, because you may have a weird Jake and you may think, oh, he got to be a terror, but some of these Jakes grew up in some weird households, been in some weird situations, and they just fucking weird, man. So the spirit of discernment is also a gift from on high that the Lord gives to his men. You got to be able to discern who you're talking to, who you're dealing with, because we're not just a black Hebrew Israelite. Oh, black. We for the black people. We for Israelites, man. However they come looking, that's who we for. We for the speckled bird. That's what the Lord called his people. You got it, brother.
It says, let me see. All right. Resilient and uncompromising. Despite persecution, imprisonment, and hardship, he never gave up. Modern Paul might endure online criticism, censorship, or political opposition, but remain steadfast. It says modern ministry style. It says a digital apostle, right? He says he be active on YouTube.
Chat GTP is killing Esau, man. This gonna be his AI is gonna be Esau's downfall, man.
They better shut this down, man.
God damn.
Hey, that's why you can never say, GMS is not active. It says,
hey, you know who fit that description? I ain't gonna say, hey, look, I ain't saying who's who. We don't dwell on things, linger on things like that. But there is a man who fit that description of Paul. But I'm
yep.
active on YouTube, relentless. You got it, brother.
So it says, again, modern ministry style, digital apostle. He'd be active on YouTube, X, Twitter, and podcast, writing blog posts, letters, emails, newsletters, and ebooks that reach global audiences. So jumping around again, let me see. Appearance and lifestyle, minimalist, practical, and mobile. Traveling light, perhaps with a backpack and a laptop instead of scrolls. Hey, you can look at us as how we move and take our swords.
Yep.
Go to different brothers and we camp.
Yep.
We have these characteristics. So he said more interested in impact than comfort. Often on the move, teaching, mentoring, or engaging in public discussions.
Yeah.
Out there on the highways and the byways.
Yeah.
Hold on real quick.
Yeah, you gotta understand during that time, Paul was sent to the uncircumcision, so he had to travel. That's why he wrote the book of Corinthians to the church that was in Corinth, Greece. All right, the book of Thessalonians to the church of Thessalonica, in Greece. He had to travel to these places because he had brothers there, churches there that he was sending letters to about conduct. Corinthians, Ephesians, Church of Ephesus. He was sending letters to these brothers about their conduct and how to conduct themselves amongst each other, amongst the body in the church. He was giving rules and regulations. So don't listen to no nigga telling you that Paul's words are not the word of the Most High. Because last time I checked, Paul got multiple books in the scrolls. All right? The Lord wouldn't put a man's books in his holy scrolls that you shouldn't be listening to. All right? So Paul's words, all of Paul's words are of Yahweh Bashim Shah. If he told a man not to cover his head when he prophesied prayer, don't cover your fucking head. Paul is ours, man. What the fuck? You know? It's simple. All you Israelite camps wearing these fucking hats when you praying and prophesying. Paul said don't wear no hat, man. That's the order. But you guys don't respect the order. Why? Because you don't have the traits that me and this brother have been going into tonight, man.
Yeah,
you lack the qualities.
I gotta go into hold on. Let me see. Was there any more? I gotta get one more if you don't mind. I got Apostle Peter. Had a be. So it said
that's the rock. Yeah, we're here with the rock.
Rock says, let me stop. What characteristics would Apostle Peter have if he was living today? That's it says number one. Let me see something. All right. One, bold and outspoken. Peter was never afraid to speak up. Sometimes before thinking. Today he probably be what the fuck? Today he probably be one of who speaks passionately in meetings, debates publicly about his beliefs, or posts fiery messages online. He'd be confident, authentic, and unfiltered. Someone people either love for his sincerity or find too blunt. Two, a natural leader. He was de facto leader among the disciples and later a pillar of the early church. In today's context, Peter might be a pastor or church planner leading a large congregation, a movement leader, or activist inspiring others through his conviction and courage. A people person who leads more by heart than by formality. Three, deeply loyal but emotionally complex. Peter's loyalty to Yahweh Shah was fierce, yet he also faltered, denying Yahweh Shah 3 times. That mix of devotion and human weakness will make him relatable today. Someone authentic about his struggles, he might advocate for grace, second chances, and authentically in faith communities. Let me see. Action-oriented and practical. Peter was a fisherman, a man of work, not theory. In a modern setting, he'd be hands-on. Let me see.
Yeah, fishermen have patience too. That goes into temperance. You naturally gotta have patience as a fisherman. As well as the Lord said, "What I make you fishers of men, fishers of men." Before hunting season, we have the fishing season. So a lot of you guys need to learn patience, man. Not just patience on waiting on the Lord to come back, just patience, period, in your life. The scriptures say, "Don't worry about tomorrow, for today is sufficient evil thereof." Anxiety, you always anxious. That's a demon. Anxiety is a demon. You're always anxious because you have no patience. You know, the spirit of the Lord is a spirit that brings peace and comfort and stillness. It's like still water. It's not a rushing storm of water. It's still water. You're supposed to just go with the flow. Every moment of your life should be, oh, what is this? And what I'm going to do? Oh, and what's happening here? Oh, tomorrow and next week and next month. Oh, and you just itching it. You know, no patience. That's not the spirit that a man of the Lord should be in.
All right, it's a 6, humble and teachable eventually. Though impulsive and proud early on, Peter became humble and wise with experience. Today, he might be a mentor figure, the kind of leader who admits past mistakes and teaches others from them. Same thing, we fell off, you know?
Yeah.
We fell off, we went off, we were doing the things of the world, and now, due to our configuration through Yahweh Shah, we can tell our listeners, our viewers, in the real life, what we learned and how Yahweh Shah had mercy and what, that's how, in order to be a teacher and a ruler, you had to go through some shit. Nobody can be born with a silver spoon in his mouth and tell anybody anything. How the fuck do you know what you're talking about if you never lived through it?
Exactly. You ain't been through shit. It's like these guys is telling you how to deal with a woman and never been in a relationship.
Yeah,
Man,
come on.
look, the only way to know how to deal with these psycho beings that are known as women is to actually deal with them, man. You
Yeah,
can't
no,
give a
yep,
you
you
can't
got
give a man advice on something you ain't never did. I'm gonna show you how to fix this on your car, but you ain't never fixed it. You never did it yourself. You just typing online, man. You got it, brother.
yeah, basically, yeah. That's why, really the true rulers on the earth is us. The only people that can really tell you about anything is the Israelites because we come from the bottom. We're at the bottom. How can
Yep.
you really? I mean, you can listen to Edomites on a certain aspect, but overall, you can't listen to no goddamn Edomite. He's in power. Yes, he makes certain valid points of the system going down, crashing. He be on point of certain things, but overall, the men of the Lord you have to listen to, man, because we're people that we don't have nothing, we don't have no power. We were in the ghettos and the slums, we come from them. We've been impoverished, we've been oppressed, and we have our mental still intact. We're not
Yeah.
willing to compromise. We're not really. What it says in Romans 8:35 through. Get that real quick. We can end it with that.
Cool. Yeah, you got the oppressor telling the oppressed how they should feel about oppression.
Yeah,
The
come on.
fuck out here. You out of your goddamn mind, man. We actively going through oppression, and you trying to tell us how oppression is or what oppression is. You said Romans chapter 8, verse what?
35 to 39.
This is Romans chapter 8, verse 35. It reads, "Who shall separate us from the love of Hamashiach Yahushua? Shall tribulation, or distress, or persecution, or famine, or nakedness, or peril, or sword?"
So
And
that's again as me and the brother was going into the characteristic of the apostles and the prophets. We got to have these same characteristics too that will lead us in Lord's will. Yahweh Bashir Rashad will send mercy and his angels to encamp around us and keep us steady and keep us as a tree right by the water in these days to come, so we
right,
won't be moved. Because as you can see, um, people ain't got it. People don't. Their marbles are not intact.
yeah,
People are losing it. People are ready to crash out. A lot of people are not going to. Well, Jake is not really going to kill themselves, but they will crash out or provoke somebody else to do it.
yeah.
You got it.
And as time get worse, it's just gonna get worse and worse. Their mentality is gonna decay more and more. Um, and who knows what's gonna happen if these SNAP benefits stay out of service for a long time. So Jake is already doing wild shit while they had SNAP benefits. But
Yeah. Yep.
this verse 36, as it is written, "For thy sake we are killed all the day long. We are accounted as sheep for the slaughter. Nay, in all these things we are more than conquerors through him that loved us." So that's what it is. That's what it's about. I was watching a movie where it said, "You don't take away pain, you overcome it."
Yep.
You
It's
know,
beautiful.
pain is gonna happen. It's in the flesh. You learn about pain at an early age as a kid when you scrape your knee or you get your first cut. You learn that I can't just get away this pain. It's not just gonna go away. I have to overcome it. I have to endure it. Well, that's the beauty. There is beauty in pain. Say what you want, but the
Yeah.
scars that you have on your flesh have taught you a lot.
Yep. We
It's
wouldn't
not.
be. We wouldn't
There
be.
you go. What you say, bro?
So you wouldn't be the man you are today if you didn't
There
go.
you go. There you go. Like it's painful in the moment, but it teaches you a lot, man. Teaches you a lot. It's heart broke. You might have got your heart broken. What they call, figuratively, your heart broke. That teaches you a lot in that
Yep.
moment. Your thoughts are all erratic. You don't know what to do with your life. But after you overcome it, yeah, you playing love music all day long. But after you overcome it, you're a wiser man. You're a better man. So you don't take away pain, you overcome it. So I'm gonna read that again and say, verse 37. Nay, in all these things we are more than conquerors through him that loved us. For I am persuaded that neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor any other creature shall be able to separate us from the love of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, which is in Hamashiach Yahushua.
Yep. Hey, you got it, bro. You can close it out.
Yeah, so it says nor things present. You know, we see with the naked eye, but you have to have the spiritual eye to overcome. Because if you just focus on what you see with the naked eye, you'll be destroyed, man.
Yeah.
Because everything's corrupted. It'll drive a sane man mad. What the scripture say, oppression maketh a wise man mad.
Yep.
You can't focus on what you see with the carnal eye. You have to focus on what you see with your spiritual eye, discern with your spiritual eye, and that's how you overcome. So, you know, we pray this was edifying. We went into the traits what can we take from our forefathers, and you know, this me, the brother Abaya, the elder brother Karab signing off. We want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, the men that we learned the truth from, and shalom to the hopeful. Shalom.
Shalom.